Welcome everyone to a 1-hour power yoga practice. My name is Tamara Maxim. I've been recording these classes through Facebook Live and then uploading them to YouTube. So if you're watching it on Facebook and you want to have access to more than 85 free yoga classes that are for adults and kids and all different styles of yoga, please check out my YouTube channel under my name, Tamara Maxim. Also, if you use Spotify, I have lots of playlists there under my name, tamarayvr, which is the area code or the airport code for Vancouver, and I live in the greater Vancouver area. So please follow me on Spotify, and then you can play those yoga playlists or any other playlist anytime that you like. For this practice, we will start lying on our backs. Always one of my favorite things to hear when I get to a yoga class. So make your way down onto your back and find Supta Baddha Konasana, supine butterfly pose. Let the soles of your feet come together, knees out wide. And place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. And start to bring awareness to your breath. Notice the lift of your hands as you inhale through your nose. And maybe take a couple of sighs out your mouth as you exhale, let something go. Find an intention for your practice, maybe one word or phrase. This practice will focus around the idea of shedding what is not serving and letting go of old habits and patterns and creating space for something new and beautiful. In yoga, we have these ingrained, very old habits and patterns. We call them samskaras. Almost you can think of it like a cycle that we've been in for a long time, and we keep digging down deeper and deeper into this cycle. It's very difficult to get out of it. Use the patterns of breath tonight and the patterns of shapes, the sequences of postures and breathing, meditation, and your drishti or focus, all of it. Bring it all together in the yoga practice and help yourself to identify what you need to let go of, what you can create space for, and what new beautiful ideas, behaviors, thoughts that you'd like to bring into your life. And if you like, dedicate this practice out to a person, a group, a place, a cause. And together we'll take one beautiful sound of Om. Deep breath in. And a full breath out. Inhale for Om. Om. Feel the Om through your back body, radiating forward from your heart center, enveloping you in a state of peace and of harmony. Beautiful union to begin this practice. You can keep your left leg and left foot where it is, but then bring your right knee in toward your chest and wrap your right hand around the outer edge of your right foot for a half happy baby. And if it's comfortable, keep the razor edge of your left foot down and let the knee float out to the side. Take a few breaths here, pulling the foot down so the knee comes closer to the earth, and at the same time pressing your foot up to create a little bit of traction. You can keep your left hand on your inner thigh, or maybe cactus the arm to open up the shoulder and chest a little bit more. Maybe start to rock a little bit side to side, keeping the edge of your left foot down as you bring the knee to the right and sway the left knee to the left. And there's an opportunity to stay here if you like. If you want to go a little bit deeper, place your right hand on the heel from the inside and start to extend your right leg to any degree, pressing out through the heel, toes curling toward you, and you'll feel this down the back of the right leg. Keeping it out to the right in the shape of a Y. Deep breath in, and a deep breath out. And again, maybe find that rocking side to side. Come back through center, bend your knee. Place your left foot level onto the mat. Cross your flexed right ankle over your left thigh and bring your left knee toward your body and a little bit out to the left. You can interlace your fingers behind the thigh or in front of the shin bone. Keep both feet active. As you pull your left knee more to the left and in toward the left shoulder, press your right knee away at the same time. Letting go of any emotional tension that might be pent up here in the hips. Any repetitive thoughts, repetitive habits, old ways of being that might be creeping up right now. Try to let them go. Create space for something beautiful and new. And then release both of your feet back down to the mat, back to Supta Baddha Konasana. This time you'll keep your right foot and right leg where it is. Bring your left knee in toward your left shoulder. Wrap your left hand around the outer edge of your left foot for half happy baby. If it's comfortable, you can keep your right foot as it is. If needed, you can always stand your knee up. And as you press down into your hand, or press up into your hand, press down onto your foot. Get a little bit of traction there. And maybe you stay, you can rock side to side. Open up that arm if it feels good. Creating a little bit of release in the hips, where we store a lot of these blueprints for these samskaras, these habits and patterns, most if not all of which come from emotional reactions. Why we hang on to things, why we keep doing things the way that we do to our emotions, our reactions. Stay here or press to the inner edge of your heel and wrap your hands around, wrap your left hand around the base of your left heel and start to extend your leg out. Press out through the heel, toes curling back, and get a nice stretch underneath the left thigh and the inner thigh as you push the heel away from you, getting a bit of a Y shape with your body. There's a downward facing dog and an upward facing dog. That's my teacher. You rock a little side to side. And then bring it back through center. Step your right foot onto the floor. Underneath your knee, flex your left ankle. Place your left ankle on top of your right thigh and start to pull your right knee in toward your chest. A little bit out to the right. Hug behind the thigh again or in front of the shin bone. Keep both feet flexed. And as you're pulling the knee out and in toward your shoulder, you can press your left knee away at the same time, creating a little bit of release in the hip. And then release both feet down to the mat. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Both knees into the chest. Rock side to side. And then hugging behind your thighs. Start to rock forward and back. So it's a nice slow opening. I hope you enjoyed that. Calm before maybe a little bit of a storm. Rock forward and back. I know you love it. That's why you're doing a power yoga class. And then cross over your ankles. Press down into your hands and walk, step, or hop back to downward dog. From downward facing dog, start to pedal out your heels as you start spreading your fingertips wide. I forgot to mention at the beginning, if you need a strap for binding for your yoga practice, please find something that you can use or improvise with. Could be a sock, could be a towel, could be a shirt, some kind of belt. I'm sure you can find something around your home. If you don't need it, don't worry about it. Spread your fingers wide, index finger pointing straight ahead. Palm the mat with your finger pads and draw the eye of your elbows more forward. Let the head hang down. Create space around the shoulders. Nod your head, yes, no, and maybe. And be comfortable in being in that maybe state, that state of uncertainty.
That's the state that we want to be in when we're ready to let go of what is no longer serving us and keep ourselves open to a great mystery, what will unveil itself, what will be revealed. On your next inhale breath, come behind your toes, bend your knees a lot, look forward to the top of your mat, walk, step, or hop. Feet hip distance or big toes touching, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Again, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen your chest halfway up. Nice long spine. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. This time, root through the feet, spread your arms wide, curl your tailbone toward your heels as your palms touch, arch back, Urdhva Hastasana, and hands to heart center, Samastitihi. Take an inhale breath, reach your arms out wide and up, arch back. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Start to find your Ujjayi breath. Halfway lift, lengthen. As you exhale, plant your palms, walk, step, or hop back, Chaturanga, or all the way to your belly. If you're on the belly, you can take Cobra pose. If you're halfway, take Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward dog. An extra breath here, press into your hands, tops of the feet down, lift your chest, shoulders back. And now roll over your toes, come to a high plank position. Use your knees if you need. Chaturanga, halfway down. Look at your arms, make sure they're bent at 90 degrees. Push back up as you inhale. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Take an inhale breath, lift your right leg up to the sky, stack your hip as you press out through the heel, so that same feeling of extending out through the leg. And then bend the knee, drop your foot toward the left side, but try squaring your shoulders to the mat. Take one more inhale, lift that knee a little higher and start straightening your leg again. Press your heel out and then square your hip to the mat, lower your right foot beside your left. Same thing, other side. Lift your left leg up, stack your hip, press out through your heel. That same type of Y shape that we did at the start. Then bend your knee, dropping your foot to the right side, but square your shoulders toward the mat. Take an inhale, lift your knee a little higher. Let the foot drop a little more. And now again, straighten the leg, press out through the heel, and then square your hip, lower your left foot down. Come behind your toes, big toes can touch, look forward, walk, step, or hop. Halfway lift as you lengthen. Fold completely, exhale. Inhale to rise all the way up. Scoop the breath right to the top, that slight constriction in the throat to create the Ujjayi breath, hands to heart center. One more round, Surya Namaskar A with some variations. Inhale, arch back, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Plant your palms, walk, step, or hop back, Chaturanga or the belly. Take your back bend of choice, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana or Cobra Bhujangasana. Roll over the toes, lower your knees if you need. One Chaturanga push-up, belly is strong. Exhale, back and up, downward facing dog. Walk your feet just a little bit closer to your hands. De-weight your left foot and cross your flexed left ankle over your right thigh. Push your hips back and up. And now lift your right heel up a lot, bend your right knee, and create a standing pigeon pose here in downward dog. Keep your left foot flexed. Push your hips back and up as you root your finger pads down. Get an opening in the left hip. Deep breath in, the long breath out. And then release that left foot. De-weight your right foot. Flex your right ankle, place it over top of your left thigh. Lift your left heel up a lot, bend your knee, and pull your hips back and up as you flex your right foot, creating an opening in the right hip. Bend your knee as much as you need to create that shape and to create a feeling of stretching the right hip. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Replace both of your feet down, step back if you need, downward dog. Come behind your toes, step your big toes together to touch. This time we'll take a little frog hop. So squat down first, hips to heels, knees out wide, arms strong. Come into a high plank. Pitch your shoulders forward over your wrists. Inhale again to lower, hips to heels, knees wide. Exhale, come forward. And do it 2 more times. You can hop if you like. Try to get your knees open. Kick your bum with your heels. And then land your feet between your hands. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale. Fold. Stay here. Who always wants to play when I do yoga? Lengthen. As you exhale, release. And then inhale to rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Stay standing here, hands to heart center, Samastitihi. Now get your big toes touching, heels slightly apart. We'll sit down into Utkatasana, chair pose, and we'll be working with this pose a little bit through this practice. Try to get the razor edge of your index finger down onto the mat. Curl your tailbone under towards your heels, hug the inner thighs, and then reach your arms up to the sky. Relax your shoulders, create space around your neck and your shoulders. Draw the shoulder blades down the spine. Take your gaze slightly forward or up if you can, and pull the kneecaps back. Take one more inhale, lift up a little higher, go a little deeper with the hips. One more breath, inhale. As you exhale, lift your hips and fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. As you exhale, plant your palms, walk, step, or lightly hop back, chaturanga. Take your back bend. Roll over the toes, chaturanga. With the knees if you need. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Take a deep inhale and a long exhale. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. As you exhale, right knee to right upper arm. Hug in nice and tight. Press the arm and knee together. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, cross to the left side. Try to hug the knee to the tricep. Inhale, lift it back up. Bring your knee in toward your chest, and as you step through lightly, inside of the right thumb, back heel spins down, and rise up, Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. And it's not possible to completely square your hips to the front of the mat, but try. Pulling your right hip back, left thigh forward. Press the outer edge of your left foot down. Reach your arms up high to the sky, big breath in. And as you exhale, sweep your hands back, interlace your palms. Take another inhale breath, and as you bow the head down, lift your arms up and over your head. And maybe your right shoulder presses to the right thigh. Maybe you go a little deeper on the inside of the shin. Baddha Virabhadrasana. Bow humbly toward the earth. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. And now on your inhale breath, press into your feet. Rise all the way up, reach to the sky. As you exhale, take your vinyasa. As your palms plant down, step your left toes back, right leg floats. Try to hover as you move through chaturanga. Taking your back bend as you inhale. Both feet down, rolling over the toes. Adho Mukha Svanasana, deep breath in. You're so funny. Deep breath out. Inhale, left leg lifts to the sky. As you exhale, left knee to left, upper arm, hugging in nice and tight. Inhale, lift it up. Cross to the right side, hug in tight. Inhale, lift it back up. As you exhale, bring your knee in toward your chest. Step through inside of your left thumb. Back heel spins down. Rise up, feet are hip distance apart, Virabhadrasana 1. And again, attempting to pull the hips forward. So there might not be a perfect squaring of the hip because the right hip is pulling back, but try. Left hip back, right thigh forward, outer edge of your right foot, and anchor in this posture. Take an inhale breath, reach your arms to the sky and bend a little deeper. One more breath, curl your tailbone toward your front heel, so lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your lower back as you bow forward. Take another inhale breath here. Let the head come down so there's space around the shoulders for the arms to lift up. Keep hugging that outer left hip back, right thigh forward. Crown of the head coming down, maybe further. Or you can rest your left shoulder on your left thigh. If the crown does touch down, keep the foundation of your legs. Chin in toward the chest, open the shoulders more. Deep inhale, long exhale. And now press into the foundation of your feet. Reach your arms to the sky. Vinyasa, palms plant down. Step your right foot back to lengthen your leg. Left leg sweeps back, high plank to chaturanga. Both feet down for your back bend. Shoulders back, chest open. Make your way back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Deep inhale. And a long exhale. When your inhale breath, step your feet together to touch. If you like, take a couple of cannonball hops this time. So bend your knees and either come forward, back and forth, or hop up. Kick your bum. And the fourth or fifth time, come all the way forward to the top of your mat. Getting lots of strength in the arms, nice strong core. Inhale, lengthen. Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Chair pose again, Utkatasana. Hips go down, arms lift up. And from here, weight into your right foot. Lift your left ankle, flex it, cross it over your right thigh. And let the knee come out to the left. Try to keep your arms reaching up. Maybe interlace your palms and press the palms away from you to lengthen the arms. Create some space, deep breath in, lengthen the side body, deep breath out. And then release back to chair, other side. Right ankle over the left thigh, flex your foot. You can stay reaching the arms up or interlace the opposite with your palms. Press them away, lengthen your side body. Create lots of space in the torso, deep breath in. Open the hips, deep breath out. Back to chair we go, reach your arms up to the sky. And as you exhale, lift your hips and fold, plant your palms down firmly. Maybe step your feet back just about 1 foot length. Spread your fingertips wide, come high on your toes, lift your heels. Hug your knees into your upper arms. So not out to the side so they would slide down, but right onto the crease of the top of your tricep. And if you can't get that, step onto a block, you'll get more height. And now draw the belly in, hinge forward, weight into the finger pads, coming into Bakasana crane pose, or crow pose, or Bakasana crane pose. So really this is, Bakasana is crane, but there's this little bend in the elbows we can get for crow pose. Deep breath in, round the spine, maybe one or both of your feet float, deep breath out. And now contain your core, take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, step or shoot back, chaturanga. And take your back bend. Make your way back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Deep full inhale. And a nice long exhale. And if you have the option for Kundanyasana in your practice, we'll start with B and then A. Feel free to add that in here, or any variations. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. As you exhale, right knee to right upper arm. If you want, float it out. Right leg lifts back up. Those of you that practice with me know I love these hand balances. Right knee to left upper arm. You can go for Kundanyasana A. Watch out for dogs. Sweep it back up. She really helps me focus. Bring your knee into your chest. Look forward, and this time, warrior one again. Rise up. Just for the breath, exhale. And now keep your right foot planted. Step your left foot back. Open it up, warrior two. Take an inhale breath. Wiggle your front toes forward. Bend deeper as you exhale. Try to get this front thigh parallel. Hugging your outer right hip underneath you. Inner left thigh open. You can inhale, extend the arms, and go a little deeper. If you have a strap, get the strap in your left hand if you need it. Flip your right palm up, lower your left hand down. Viparita Virabhadrasana. Exhale, hinge back. As you inhale, come forward. And let's start with right forearm on right thigh, left arm up. Parsvottanasana. And we'll start to take this deeper into a bind. So again, if you need it, put a strap or something you can bind with in your left hand. And take that hand behind your lower back and try to get your fingertips either onto a block or inside of your right foot if you can. And then slowly start to lower your shoulder underneath your thigh and reach for the strap. Or if you don't need the strap, maybe you can wrap your fingertips or maybe even your right wrist, the right fingers around your left wrist. And from here, hug your outer right hip even more underneath you. Inner left thigh even more open, and turn your gaze up. Trying to get the alignment of the crown of the head with your front big toe. Deep breath in and a long breath out. And look down to your front foot, and we're going to step forward and back. So step your left foot forward. Keep your right knee bent, look up to the side. Try to keep the bind if you have it. Deep inhale. And a long exhale. Look back to the ground. Step it back. Might take 3 or 4 or 5 steps. You know, with that 5-point turn, parallel park. Take your time. And then release your bind. Come all the way up, warrior 2. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, take your vinyasa. Both hands down as your back heel lifts. Float your right leg back. Chaturanga. Take your back bend. Extra chaturanga here. It's good for your health and your muscles. Deep breath in and a long breath out. I say 10 chaturangas a day keeps the doctor away. Kundanyasana options. Inhale, lift your left leg. Left knee to left upper arm. Maybe bend your elbows. Kundanyasana B. Try not to kick cute puppies. We're having a bath in the middle of your yoga class. Cross to the right side. Hook the elbow if you can. Float it out. All the way back. Bring your knee to your chest. Keep coming forward. Step through. Warrior 1. Deep breath in. And a long breath out. And again, you might want to have that strap now in your right hand. Open up your stance. Find warrior 2. If you need that strap, you can grab it. Inhale to lengthen your arms. Exhale, sit a little deeper and wiggle your toes more forward so you get more space between your feet. This will allow that front thigh to become parallel one day. And many of us have an old habit or pattern of not stepping very far forward or back. And there's no way for this thigh to be parallel if our feet are too close together. So break that habit and go low. Even if you can't get the thigh down yet, at least you have the space, so prepare. Little soapbox lecture there. Flip your left palm up, lower your right hand down. Inhale, reach up and pull it back. And using props is another habit or a pattern that we have an attitude towards, as if it's not good to use props, but sometimes we need them to go deeper. Left forearm down, reach your right arm up, or at least to make the pose accessible. If you can, use a block or your fingertips inside of your left foot. Take your right arm back behind you. Maybe you have a strap. Hug your left shoulder underneath your left thigh. Go for the strap or your fingertips, or wrap your left fingers around your right wrist. Actively hug your outer left hip underneath you. Roll your inner right thigh open and direct the crown of your head toward the top of your mat in line with your big toe. Gaze up, deep breath in, and a long breath out. Now look down to your front foot. Take as many steps as you need to step that right foot to the top of your mat. Keep your left knee bent and look up toward the sky. Deep breath in, long breath out. A little bit different sequence than you might be used to. Look back down. Take as many steps as you need to get that perfect bound side angle pose again. And look down, unwind yourself, rise all the way up, warrior 2. On your inhale breath, peel your back heel off the mat, and as you exhale, palms plant down, hips face forward. Step back and lower. Stay with your Ujjayi breath. Stay with your intention, your dedication, to allow yourself to stay here in this moment and not get caught up in this habit and pattern we all have of losing sight of this moment and going to the past or the future. Stay here now. This is where yoga is truly happening. Step your big toes together to touch. Come high in your toes, look forward. Maybe walk your feet in just a little bit. We'll do a couple more hops, and then on the 4th or 5th hop, land your feet between your hands. And get maybe over our fear of trying something, not always being successful, telling ourselves we can't do it, we're too old, we're too sick, we're too injured. But really, it's just a state of mind. Back to chair pose we go. Get the hips down and reach your arms up. And this time, heel toe your feet hip distance apart, and then even wider. So nice deep chair, wide-legged chair, those big overstuffed chairs. And slowly bring your elbows inside of your thighs And continue to get the right elbow underneath the right thigh. Maybe you put a strap in your left hand. Maybe you interlace your fingers and you can start to look up to the left. Stay here or start to straighten your legs. Both legs as much as you can, looking up. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And now look down. Switch sides. Left arm hugs underneath your left thigh. Right arm behind, maybe with a strap. And try to straighten both legs. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Look back down. Get both hands down to the mat. Hop your toes together to touch. One more Bakasana crane pose or Kakasana crow pose. This time, if you are using bent arms, try to straighten your arms. Hug the belly in. Press the inner elbow forward. Try to lift your shoulders away from the ground. And this requires hugging in the belly. Try to take 2 more deep breaths. Keep coming forward. Straighten the arms the best you can, just like we tried to straighten the legs. Might not be possible, but break that habit and give it a try. And when you're ready, shoot back. Take your vinyasa all the way back through chaturanga, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Deep breath in and a long breath out. On your inhale breath, lift your right leg up to the sky. Step your right foot through in the center. Back heel spins down, nice long stance. Front heel to back arch alignment. Rise up, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale through your fingertips to reach out. Exhale, bend a little deeper. And now on your inhale, straighten your front leg, reach your palms up, and heel toe your back foot in just a little bit. Open your arms again. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, pivot your arms, find Trikonasana. Take a deep inhale and a long exhale. One more inhale and exhale. On your inhale breath, bring your left hand to your left hip, soften your right knee. Step forward onto your right foot. You can use a block under your right hand if you need. Again, breaking that habit of thinking that blocks or props make the practice easier. Sometimes you just need to have it more accessible. Tuck your right hip underneath you, left thigh open, reach up. Find Ardha Chandrasana. Feel free to take Chapasana if you have it, a back bend. Bending your top knee, reach for the outer edge of your foot. If you can, maybe by looking down, it might be easier to try floating your palm if you can. To try something new, try it on now that you're creating space for new things. And then slowly soften your right knee enough. Release your bind if you have it. Bring both hands down to the mat. Take a deep full breath in here. A deep full breath out. Start to walk your hands toward your standing leg. Wrap your right hand behind your right calf, forehead down, crown of the head down, forehead toward your shin, and lift your left heel up. Keep that leg straight, and now start to turn it out, just like we did at the beginning. So press your heel to the back left corner of the room. Deep inhale, and a long exhale. One more deep breath in, and a deep breath out. And slowly start to step all the way back. Open up to the long edge of your mat. And take your toes out wide, and I'll just turn to the front so you can see. Turn your toes out wide to the corners of your mat, so the top left and your bottom left corner of your mat. Coming into Skandasana. Start with your left knee, bend it a lot, extend out through your right heel. We'll start to move side to side, so you can float your palms. Hug your heels energetically toward each other. Engage Mula Bandha. Lift your chest or use your hands. Inhale through center. Bend into the right knee. Extend through the left. Keep going. A few times each side. Can you pull the strap for me? Last time each side. Your chest lifting.
we'll stay back on the left side. Take your left fingertips out wide, right arm reaches up, and if you like, you can keep a strap in your right hand. Bring it behind you, try and find that bind around the outer edge of your left thigh. Press out through your heel, try to lift your chest up as much as you can, and try to create almost that same Y shape in the leg. Try to drive the heel away from you and more to the right if you can. Deep full breath in, and a deep full breath out. And release. We'll do the other side when we go to it. Come back through center, lift your chest. And as you exhale, turn yourself to the front of the mat. Lower your left knee down and slide it as far back as you can. And then from here, take your hands on the inside of your right foot and heel toe your right foot out to the right and turn it out to the right. You can tent up on your fingertips or use blocks. Start to walk your fingers forward. Maybe you can come to blocks or your forearms and let that right knee drift out to the right. So we had this same feeling at the beginning of the class when we were taking half happy baby pose. Press the razor edge of your right foot down. Let that knee drift more toward the earth. Deep full breath in, protect your knee, and deep breath out. And slowly start to come back up onto your palms. And now pull your hips back until you can straighten that right leg. So you see the right leg is out at an angle, that Y shape. And you stay here, maybe even walk your fingertips closer to you, or maybe you can start to walk them further forward, maybe even coming down onto the forearms and working into this variation of Hanuman pose. So if you're higher up, more of a Ardha Hanuman, but this is more of a full extension, getting through the outer and inner edge of your right hip. Try to press your left hip toward the mat. Again, that same sensation of squaring the hips forward, just like we do in Warrior One. Deep breath in, and a long breath out. Slowly walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Tuck your back toes. Slide your knee in enough to bend back into that right knee, but keep it pointed out to the right, and see if you can take a bind. Get your right shoulder underneath the right thigh. You can keep your left knee down and maybe reach behind. And turn your chest open, so you're a bit of an angle here. If it's possible, straighten up that back leg, lift your knee, roll your heart open. Deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Really good, everyone. Walk your hands back on either side of your front leg. Step back, downward dog, Tika Vinyasa. All the way back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, deep full inhale. And a long exhale. Inhale your left leg up to the sky. Step your left foot through between your thumbs. Spin your back heel down. So I'm not going to lecture you again about creating that space, but you know you need to create the space. And inhale to lengthen through the arms and chest. Exhale, bend deeply. On your inhale, palms touch, reach up, straighten your front leg. Exhale, back into it. A couple more times. Last one. Palms reach up, heel toe your back foot in. Release your arms. Inhale, hinge forward, finding Trikonasana. Using a block under your left hand if you need, reaching your right arm up. Create lots of opening in the hips here, so actively hugging your outer left hip underneath you, inner right thigh rolling open. Spin the chest and the crown of the head, so the crown of your head is in line with your front big toe and your tailbone, and even your top thumb. Maybe look up. If you always look down, and change that habit, try to look up, challenge yourself just a little bit. Gazing back down, right hand to your right hip, soften your left knee, step forward, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. And again, you can use a block if you have it, or any support underneath your left hand to create more accessibility for the pose. And releasing yourself from any negative thoughts around that, reaching your right arm up. Press the inner edge of your left foot down. Feel free to stay here or find Shavasana. Bending the top knee, reaching for the outer edge of your foot. Maybe you start to float your left hand. Even just try being on one fingertip or no fingertips, just for a breath, top foot really active, pressing it out like that same Y shape. And then slowly soften your left knee enough to bring both hands to the mat. Pull your left hip back, right thigh forward, press out, take an inhale breath, lengthen. As you exhale, one more. Inhale and exhale. And now start to walk your hands toward your standing leg. Maybe you can bring your left hand behind your left calf, and as you pull up on the left calf, let the forehead come toward your standing shin and drive your right heel up and out like you're going to the top right corner of the room. Same idea, creating that Y. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Urdhva Prasarita Ekapadasana, standing splits pose. And coming back, you're standing L. Soften your front knee, step all the way back and open up to the long edge of the mat. And again, we'll come into Skandasana, so turn the toes out to the corners of the mat. This time bending into your right knee, extending your left heel, and we'll float side to side. Feel free to use your palms if you like. Hug your heels toward each other, get that root lock, Mula Bandha. Inhale through center. Exhale, bend into the other side. Left knee bends, right leg straight. Try to go with your breath so you're not bobbing up and down. A slow rhythmic breath. Turn your heart open as you land. One more time each side like this. Beautiful. Come all the way back to the right side. Again, you can use a strap if you like. You take your right hand out to the right. Left arm reaches up. Spin your left hand back behind you if you can. Right hand tucks behind as well. Maybe you find your fingers or maybe even your left wrist with your right fingertips and roll your heart open. And again, press out through that left heel like you're trying to drive it to the left end of your mat, the left bottom corner of your mat. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more. And really pressing away with that heel. Release your bind, come back through center, and we'll take Prasarita Padottanasana here. So walk your feet in so the outer edges of your feet are parallel, even slightly pigeon-toed with your big toes. Halfway lift, lengthen. As you exhale, walk your hands more in line with your feet and press into your hands. Bend your elbows to pull the crown of your head actively down. Create space around the shoulders, space around the neck. We have a few breaths here. If you want to go for Shirshasana B, you can, the tripod headstand. If your head touches the ground, the feet will start to float up and in toward one another. Try to relax the shoulders away from the ears. And again, you can nod yes, shake your head no, or maybe stay in that maybe zone of uncertainty and staying open to the possibilities of something new as you let go of something old. If you're in Shirshasana, slowly start to come down, let your heels touch down before your toes. Then come back to the halfway position. And again, bend your right knee. Get your right shoulder underneath your right thigh. Left hand comes behind, maybe with a strap, and try to straighten out both legs and look up to the left. So your feet and your torso making a bit of a Y shape again, a big capital Y with your legs out. Your spine in the center. Bend into that right knee and we'll switch. So halfway lift. Bend your left knee. Left arm underneath the left thigh, right arm behind. Maybe find wrists or fingers or a strap. Straighten out both legs. You feel that stretch in the back of the thigh, behind the knee. Turn and look up. Release, halfway lift. And as you exhale, turn toward the front of your mat and lower your right knee down and slide it as far back as you can. And then take your hands on the inside of your left foot.
Move your cute puppy. It's in the way. Start to heel toe your left foot more out to the left and even roll to the outer blade of your left foot. You can tent up on your fingertips. Maybe start to walk your hands forward. Maybe you come down onto your forearms or blocks and you can relax your right foot down. And take a few breaths here. Variation of lizard pose, Uttan Prasthasana. And this will set us up for either Ardha Hanumanasana or Hanumanasana variation where the leg is angled out to the side. And slowly start to rise back up onto your palms. Take an inhale breath here and then pull the hips back until your left leg straightens out at an angle. Stay here, or maybe you start to slide your left heel more out to the left and your right thigh straight back, creating again that Y shape with the legs. Maybe you come down onto your forearms. Keep pressing the right thigh down and at the same time roll the outer left hip toward the mat. So use the directions of the hips to create the maximum stretch and maximum release. And if you're not getting very deep in this pose, release yourself from expectations and from judgments, that continuous habitual tape that plays in our head, that competition with ourselves and others. Let that go and create space to be open wherever you are. Slowly start to walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Tuck your back toes to slide the knee in. Come back into that lizard variation. And from here we'll come into a bind. So we're going to keep that right leg straight back behind us. Tuck your left shoulder underneath your left thigh. Maybe your left hand comes behind your hip. Maybe the right hand as well. You can stay or tuck your toes. Roll your chest open. And then release both hands to the mat and step back, downward dog. Deep full breath in, deep full breath out. Take a vinyasa. Making your way back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Start to walk your feet toward your hands. Coming to the top of your mat, take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise all the way up. Reach your arms to the sky, arch back. Hands to heart center, Samastitihi. Step your feet closer together. Utthita Hasta Padangustasana, extended hand to big toe pose. Standing up as tall as you can be, root down through your left foot on your inhale breath. Bring your right thigh parallel to the floor. You're welcome to hold on to your right shin if you like, or find Padangustasana grip, peace fingers wrapping around the inside of the big toe, cap it off with your thumb. Pull your hip back, pull your shoulder back. Find your drishti, your gaze, look forward or slightly up, and press out through that heel as we've been doing. Pull the hip back, femur back into the hip socket, upper arm bone back into the shoulder socket. Extend your left arm up long, maybe create Gyan Mudra, that knowledge and wisdom that you have as you open this up, and drive your right heel up and into a corner as you pull the right hip down. So keep the hips level as you can. Won't be perfect, but still try and press the heel away. And maybe from here, with this beautiful Y shape you're creating with your body, look over your left shoulder. And come back through center. Knee lifts, arms lift. Samastitihi. Tadasana. Just like that. Hands to your hips. Weight pours down into your right foot. Lift your left thigh parallel to the floor. Keep your foot active. You can hug in front of the shin or inside of your left big toe with your peace fingers. Cap it off with your thumb. Stand up tall. Hug your shoulder back. Hug your hip back. And then extend the leg to any degree. Try to pull your femur back into the hip socket. This is done by creating some core strength, and pull the shoulder, upper arm bone back into the shoulder socket. Right arm lifts, Gyan Mudra, knowledge and wisdom. You have it all inside of you. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, create that Y shape. Try to press the left heel up and toward a corner,
as you pull the hip down. Try to level those hips. It's impossible, but create that intention. And then from this beautiful Y shape, look over your right shoulder. Breathe here for 3, 2, and 1. Come back, knee lifts, arms lift, Samastitihi, and Tadasana. Beautiful work. Take your feet wide, almost like we were doing Skandasana, but this time it's a little mini one. Toes are touching the outer edges of your mat, heels are in. Take an inhale breath, reach up to the sky, palms touch, arch back. As you exhale, sink the hips down, elbows to the inner thighs, Malasana. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And you're welcome to stay. We're going to add in one last bind here in Malasana and then transition into Svargadvidasana, bird of paradise pose. Take your left fingertips out to the left, reach your right arm up. Spin your right hand around. Feel free to use a strap if you like. Bring it to your lower back. And from here, try to thread that left arm on the outside of your left hip. Palms find each other, or maybe left fingertips around the right wrist. And just as we've been doing, try to turn and look up and create that bind, pressing your shoulder into the inner thigh. Deep breath in and a long breath out. Release, come back through center, right fingertips out to the right. Create openness and space. So create a Y shape now with your arms. Spin your left hand back behind you. Try to find the outer right thigh. And maybe you can sneak those right fingertips to meet your left, either with a strap, or find your fingers, or maybe bind your left wrist with your right fingertips. Turn your heart open. Keep pressing your shoulder into the thigh. Deep breath in and a long breath out. One more. Release, come back through center. Press into your hands and lift your hips until your legs are straight. And turn just your toes forward, so keep your heels where they are. And again, you can feel free to use a strap to make this next pose more accessible, or just try as you are. Come along for the ride. Nobody cares how it looks. It's really your intention and your attitude, and ensure that you let go of whatever is not working for you in this moment and stay with what is. Bend your right knee a lot. Get your right shoulder underneath your right thigh. Back of your right hand to your right hip. Swing your left arm around, maybe use a strap, and either find your fingers or your wrist. Look down toward the mat and walk your left foot more in the center. And come high on your right toes, lifting the heel. And this might be it for you. Or start to root strongly through your standing foot. Your knee can stay soft as you stand yourself up. And bring your bind with you. If you drop the leg or drop the bind, it's okay. You can still lift it up, just like we did in Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Maybe you're just holding onto your knee as you stand up. And if you can stand all the way up, make one final Y shape with your legs. Extend your toes. Try to point them toward the corner behind you. Deep breath in and a long breath out. Helps if you smile. Come all the way back down. Widen your legs. Release your arms. Grab your opposite elbows and sway. Nod your head yes, no, or maybe. Enjoying this uncertainty, not knowing what will come when you let go of anything that's not serving you, but you know that you're creating space for something new and beautiful. And come back through center. Soften your knees and shrug your left shoulder underneath your left thigh. Back of your left hand to your left hip. Find your right wrist or your fingers or a strap that's being held in your right hand. Look down toward the mat and walk your right foot more to the center. Lift your left heel, come high in the toes, and start to draw the belly in so you feel that engagement. And then from there, press down into your standing leg, to your standing foot, and rebound. There's always a give and take in yoga. Push down to stand up. This rebound action. Turn the heart open. Try to square your hips to the front if you can. Impossible, but it's the effort. And then from here with a beautiful smile, no matter what it looks like in this moment, just keep smiling. Try to extend, create that final Y shape. Beautiful breath, beautiful shape. And then when you're ready, release, come all the way down. Keep the feet wide, let the arms hang. Again, you can grab opposite elbows. Maybe make some sort of figure 8 shapes with your elbows as you bend side to side. Bring your hands down onto the mat. Heel toe your feet in just a little bit. Come back to Malasana. Take an inhale here. Enjoy. Exhale. And then bring your hands back behind you. Sit down onto your bum. Take your feet wider than your mat and windshield wiper your knees side to side. A beautiful posture, bird of paradise pose. If you think they're all so unique and so beautiful and so stunning, and they all grow in these unusual places under unusual conditions. Some are small, some are big, they're different colors, and they all grow from this foundation that we can't see. We don't know what's beneath the surface, but they keep growing and they keep creating space and they keep opening until this beautiful flourish at the top. And that's what our yoga practice gives us the space for, to keep growing this beautiful flourish. And we never know what it will look like. It's this great mystery, but we have to create the space for it. So thank you for doing that with me today. Let's make our way down onto our back to release. A couple of back bends. Come all the way down. Walk your heels close to your bum, palms beside your body. If you'd rather go for Urdhva Dhanurasana right away, you can, or Setu Bandhasana to start. Make sure your feet are not any wider than the width of your hands, and your thumbs should be touching your hips. So pretty narrow. On your inhale breath, press into your feet. Start to peel your spine up off the mat. If you want to go for Urdhva Dhanurasana, flex your palms up toward the ceiling. Bring them beside your ears. Press up onto the crown of your head and then all the way up, straightening your arms and legs. If you're in Setu Bandhasana, little bridge, maybe interlace your palms, knuckles moving toward your heels, lifting the chest. Couple of deep breaths. Release your hands. One more breath. Inhale, lift. If you're coming down, slowly come down. One vertebra at a time. If you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana, come to the crown of your head first and then chin in toward the chest to slowly lower the spine down. You can go where we started, Supta Baddha Konasana, one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Take a full deep breath in and a full breath out. One more. Inhale and exhale. Close the knees. We'll take one more back bend. You can always take supported bridge as well, sliding a block under your sacrum. If you're going for Setu Bandhasana, arms beside the hips and lift up, or flex your palms, palms beside your ears. When you're ready for Urdhva Dhanurasana, you'll lift your hips, come onto the crown of your head, widen your hands maybe, and then try to straighten your arms and legs. Let the head drop back, look toward your heels. If you're in little bridge pose, take the opposite interlace of your hands if you did in the first set. Try to stretch the front of your thighs. Feel your tailbone moving toward the front of your mat. When you're ready to come down from either of those back bends, come down slowly. Slowly touch down onto the crown of your head for Urdhva Dhanurasana, and then come all the way through little bridge pose. Release your arms if they're bound, and then come all the way down. And this time, take your feet wide, knees together. Let your inner knees touch, and open up your arms in a cactus or a T shape. Drop both of your knees to the right side, and you can walk your left heel more to the left. And then place your outer right ankle on the outer left thigh, and pull the left knee down to the mat. It's a nice stretch for the IT band if you can get it. And turn your gaze opposite direction if it feels okay for your neck. And bringing your gaze back through center, release your top foot if it's bound. Windshield, or get your hips back through center, and then drop your knees over to the other side, to the left side. Walk your right foot a little bit more to the right to get the knee and hip aligned. This will give you more of that IT band stretch. And if you can, place your outer left ankle on the outer right thigh and pull your inner right knee toward the mat. Maybe take your gaze over your right shoulder. Few last deep Ujjayi breaths here. Let something go. Prepare to surrender deeply. Bringing your gaze back through center, release that top foot. Get your hips more in the middle, and now you can windshield wiper side to side. Slowly start to bring your knees to the outer edges of your mat. Press your feet up to the ceiling, taking full happy baby pose, Ananda Balasana. And here we can mimic a little bit of the bird of paradise pose. You can bring your left heel in towards your groin. Wrap your right hand from the inside around your right heel and extend your leg out. Press out through your heel like you're driving it out to a corner. And then pull your left knee more to the left. Deep breath in. And if you like, press that left foot straight up. Deep breath out. And then you can switch sides. Right heel in towards your groin. Wrap your left hand around the inner left ankle and press your left heel. Press your left heel as far out as you can. You can stay here, or maybe extend that right heel up. Deep breath in, and deep breath out. Bring both knees back in toward your chest. Rock a little bit forward and back. Massage out the spine. And then lie all the way down onto your back. Your legs up and your arms up. Rotate out your wrists. If you'd like to end in an inversion, such as plow or shoulder stand or headstand, you can take a few moments to do that, maybe 10 to 20 breaths. But if you're ready to release, we'll come right down into Shavasana. Prepare to let go completely. Prepare to surrender completely. If you're taking one final pose, just join and stay in Shavasana as long as you can. Allow your mind to stay in this present moment, in this presence of yoga. With gratitude, appreciating your ability to consider even letting go. Hopefully you did let go of something. That's how we create space. There's no other way to do it. We're very burdened by so many things that we carry around all the time. Big backpacks, big suitcases, big duffel bags full of stuff that we are not even aware of. Very hard to create space in your body when you're burdened. So this process, every time we come to the mat, is one of letting go and releasing. So thank yourself for taking that opportunity with gratitude for this process of letting go. Close the practice with one beautiful sound of Om. Take a deep clearing breath in if you want to join. And a deep breath out. Inhale. Om.